This is Tiger Cats postgame on the Ticats Audio Network.
Well, if you were boxing announcer Michael Buffer or UFC announcer Bruce Buffer, you'd call this a unanimous decision victory for your Hamilton Tiger Cats. 38-13, improving to 8-8 on the season with a very impressive, if not the most impressive, victory of the season over the Saskatchewan Roughriders in a hostile territory. The crowd quiet by the end of this one. Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantuz with you for Tiger Cats post game, and I'll tell you, Andy, foot to the floor from the beginning of this game, from the opening snap, and it did not end. They were relentless.
What an impressive total team game. Honestly, when you look at this and you have 544 yards of offense, only punt the ball one time, allow 0 sacks against, create 3 sacks, 5 turnovers, 4, gave up the ball 3 times. But like you said, you had that explosion in the first half and just a little tiny lull at the start of the third quarter. But then some like the finish that we saw was so impressive of this team, from the offensive line push and James Butler running the ball and just continuing to pile up the yards. James Butler, 30 touches in this game. You saw the defense continue to work hard and have big hits and exciting plays. The interception by Stavros comes to mind. The 3 defensive plays in a row by Jagarrett Davis come to mind. Simone Lawrence had 2 sacks and 5 tackles. Just so impressive from the top down here. New quarterbacks, no offensive coordinator in the building. I'm looking forward to talking to O, and the outlook on this season is completely different. There's got to be a lot of happy listeners right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's going to be, and I would believe this, around the Canadian Football League after what they saw tonight, that all of a sudden the Tiger Cats are that sleepy team right now, the sleepy good team that people maybe have forgot about. So let's see. Like you said, I'm looking forward to talking and getting down to the locker room, which we will do here on Tiger Cats post game. We will talk to Coach O, player of the game, our Car Star Keys to Victory review, our catch of the game coming up. We'll go roundtable style and bring in the likes of RJ and Luke from the broadcast booth, who are beaming as much as we are right now after a victory like that. But let's set up our catch of the game. It is time for the catch of the game, presented by Fisherman's Friend. Fisherman's Friend, it works. That is the honest truth. Now, the situation was this. Early first quarter, no one really expecting much. 8:38 into that first quarter. Second down and 8 situation. Hamilton operating from their own 12-yard line.
Tiger Cats on their own 12. It says 2nd and 8. Levi Mitchell, play action to Butler, throws over the middle. It's a perfect pass. It's Tim White. Now it is a foot race.
Wow.
4 Riders. They can't bring him down. He's down to the Riders 30, the 25, the 20, along the sideline. And finally, Derek Moncrief pushes him out of bounds. Massive play, a great throw by Bo.
Wow.
It's a first down and more, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Wow, 83 yards to Tim White. What a beautiful, just a great angle on a post from the slot to the right side, over the top of Moncrief there. That's the under coverage, and then splits 2 high safeties. Boy, that is a Bo Levi Mitchell throw. That is playoff caliber. That was perfect timing and perfect space. And then Tim White with a very impressive move downfield to tack on an extra 40 yards on the end of that.
You know, I'll tell you what I like about that play and that reception is that the throw was precision, but it was in Andy Fantuz' area. And that's Andy Fantuz right there, and that in your home, and did exactly what you used to do.
You know what it was, and you heard from Luke there, that was Bo Levi Mitchell is what it was. It was a drop back, a rhythm throw, and it was sort of that seam bender sort of pass where as soon as you get past the under coverage, you just kind of get into that opening space, and because the throw was on time, that is what allowed Tim White to redirect his path immediately after the catch to avoid the first tackle, and then just a crazy effort to kind of get away from 4 people in the middle of the field, and turned out to be an 88-yard pickup, which is the 3rd longest pickup in the whole league all season long on a catch reception. And what an individual effort by Tim White, but the throw is what started it. Just incredible.
Let's bring in the likes of RJ Broadhead in our Tiger Cats post-game discussion. And hey, RJ, I mean, you really have to be impressed with the attitude of this bunch. As I said, there was really no let up on this team. And I'm not going to say I was concerned, but I think there has to be a concern that you played such a fine first half that there would be a drop-off in the second half. But this, if I may say, they had them by the throats and didn't let them go.
Yeah, absolutely they did. And I think that's part of the playoffs being on the horizon. And they don't want to have any let up, and they want to keep going. I think the epitome of that was Matt Schultz. They had a big lead, and he has a quarterback keeper and runs over 2 Roughriders, doesn't slide, takes the hits, and actually dominates and gets extra yardage. When the quarterback's doing that, he's coming back from an injury. This is his 2nd game action since, and that just tells you everything about the attitude of the Tiger Cats.
Totally. The finish on these guys was just, it was so impressive. And that Matt Schultz play comes to mind. The effort by the offensive line just finishing their blocks on when it was the Butler show, just piling on the yards, but it was the offensive line downfield just continuing to work so hard, and the excitement around the team. You saw them crawling on the field, doing the army crawl first down things a number of times throughout this game. You saw them all get together and giving the first downs offensively. On defense, they were just swarming all over the place. I liked how you said that, RJ. Like that was really the epitome of it, was that Matthew Schultz run for the first down.
And Luke, to me, that what I thought was so impressive offensively and even defensively, each player, at least each starter out there, I mean, got a big play and had sometimes a momentum-changing play. But that was spread around everyone. It didn't matter who was throwing the football or who was making plays on defense.
Yeah, you're right. Defensively, especially, all that front rush, they were all making it uncomfortable for Jake Dolegala at times. You had all those think back to every turnover, the turnover on downs. I think about Jameer Thurman's tackle in the backfield on that first turnover on downs. Just outstanding effort, and it's kind of like all these Ticat seasons that it's always kind of digging themselves out of a hole the first half of the season. This year, kind of was no different, but they've found themselves. They have a real identity. They're a no give up, fight till the end kind of team now.
Let's review your CarStar keys to victory, Andy. Let's run through those quickly.
Number 1 was start fast. And
wow,
did they ever start fast? This score was 7-2 after the first quarter, and it was 25-9 at half. But let's look at defensively first. These are the drives of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Punt, turnover on downs, punt. Wow. That's how they start. That's how the defense started the game. Offensively, they drove down the field, but unfortunately James Butler had that fumble on the first drive. But then it was touchdown, and then they had 3 other touchdowns in that first half, and a field goal. So, including that explosive 2-play drive for a touchdown by Bo Levi, and then right when Matthew Schultz came in, he threw 2 more in that first half. So, start fast, definitely a big pass.
Number 2 was a better starting field position, and even though the Roughriders
kind of got into field goal range or right on the borderline, Hamilton was able to kind of push them back and force them to punt, which forced Hamilton to start deep in their own end zone a few times in the first half. But throughout the game, they continued to get first downs, flip the field, and ended up Hamilton starting on an average of their own 29, and Saskatchewan on an average of their own 39-yard line, and Saskatchewan on their average of their own 35-yard line. So they also won that.
got exclusive access to the coaching room. Time to check in with Coach Orlando Steinauer, presented by Access Storage. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. Well, Coach Orlando Steinauer, I'll tell you, this was one of those victories that I'm sure as an organization, as a multiple coaching staff, and yourself, you have to be pleased, as I brought up with the boys here just moments ago. Everyone ate today. Everyone contributed, and that's got to be good for you to watch on the sidelines.
Yeah, actually it was. Just all 3 phases. Just couldn't be more proud, and, the coaches, you said it. If I just say it clean, it's the organization, right? It's just couldn't be more proud. It was great to have Bo back out there. I thought he did a great job. Matt Schultz, unbelievable. Battled a few injuries there and, turned the ball over, but we're able to, hold them and withstand and just not really let them get momentum. And it's tough. It's tough to play here. The crowd was loud, but overall, we came out here on a mission to get a win, whether that was 1 point or however many we won by tonight. You said it best, right? It was just all 3 phases. I thought they showed up and made plays.
Coach, if you were to look at the season after the first third, there was kind of a situation in the quarterback room, and you mentioned Bo's performance tonight. You also have the performance of Matthew Schultz last week and this week, and you have Taylor Powell who came in and fit so well. Do you consider it at all a blessing in disguise or a silver lining, I guess, that there was some injuries and now you have a situation where you have 3 guys that you feel confident in that can get wins?
The quick answer is no. You don't want to be in these situations. I'm extremely pleased to be where we're at now, considering everything that we went through, but would have loved to have them the whole way as it was going. But that wasn't the hand we're dealt. We were built for it internally. Externally, we know it always had to show up in the win column. But, we just do a great job of drowning out the noise and playing the next opponent on the schedule.
Coach, you got the most offensive yards of any game this season tonight, the most points of any game this season tonight. Obviously, an outstanding effort defensively as well. I suppose you got to feel like you're peaking at the right time.
Well, we did not play flawless out there, but we played well enough to win. And, yes, I'm not going to sit here and downplay that, we've got an internal belief, but we've had that the whole time. And, it's just, I just want to enjoy this one, not put more stock in it than we have to. We got our 2 points, and we'll have a big opponent here this next week.
Hey, Coach, it's RJ. Just a quick one. Was the plan to have Bo just play the first quarter?
Yeah, we had that plan internally. We knew he wasn't going to play any more than that. We were satisfied with what we saw.
And James Butler getting to 1,000 yards, maybe just talk about that accomplishment. I know I've enjoyed getting to know him, but his play on the field, that's pretty impressive.
Gritty performance by the O-line and him. Ran the ball again when everybody knew we were going to run the ball. Just hats off to them. And listen, James works so dang hard that, I'm just happy that, in a team sport like this, when you get an individual record like that, I think it is important to recognize, but he'd be the first to pass the credit around.
Coach, it kind of comes out to us in the media less than 24 hours before. I'm sure you had a good idea that Scott Milanovich was not going to be there. A little bit about your offensive line coach who called a great game, it appears.
Called a fantastic game. We knew that this was going to be the case all week. Scott was exactly where he should be and where he needed to be, and that was with his family. And we were prepared for that. I thought the whole offensive staff, the whole staff in general, really rallied because there's a lot of things that go into it other than play calling. There's practice, there's prep, there's game planning. Just hats off to the whole staff. They did a fantastic job, and just super proud of Mike. He wasn't too big. The moment wasn't too big for him.
Well, back home for practice, and the BC Lions are up next, and as you said, the stakes just keep getting higher, and this team keeps performing at a higher level. So congratulations on the victory. Good flight home, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it. Did I mention to stick with us?
Yes.
All right. Okay, fellas. Hey, we'll see you guys back in Hamilton. Have a great night.
All right, Coach Joe.
I love it.
You got to love it. Hey, well, let's take our time here. Let's name our performer of the game, presented by Hercules Tire, right on our strength.
We're going to go with James Butler. There was a lot of options tonight, but with 30 touches, 182 yards, I think, 182
right.
total yards. And Coach said it the best, that he's certainly going to pass the credit on to his offensive line and the guys around him. But a big milestone, first 1,000-yard rusher in years here at Hamilton. And just when the other team knows you're going to run the ball and you still can run the ball and still make plays that are hard to even believe when you're watching them. Like, you think he's going to get tackled for a 1-yard gain perhaps, and you see a burst and a broken tackle for a first down. Just continuously impresses all of us here.
You know, Luke, when did you become a Ticat?
2013.
Andy, when did you become a Ticat?
2012.
And to think, there has not been a 1,000-yard rusher, RJ, since 2010 with DeAndre Cobb. And
yeah.
I'll tell you, James Butler, he'll be sharing this with his mom for sure.
You know, I love it. Anytime you talk to JB and ask him about, big game or the honor roll, he gets a big smile and said, "Hey, my mom will have something to talk to her coworkers about." And that's he just wants to make his mom happy, and he plays hard. That was some tough running, and he's had some games. Like Coach O said it, every team knows they're going to try to run the football, and he's doing 360s and 180s and cuts and going right into the heart of the defense and getting positive yards, and gets to 1,000 yards, and that really opens things up. Omar Bayless, 2 touchdowns. Everybody's contributing. It's just been really fun to watch, and back to 500 for the first time this season. Last time was before they kicked things off for game 1, but they've worked hard. They've stuck with it. Coach O saying, "Stick with us." Back to 500.
Let's get down to the locker room and connect with number 19, Bo Levi Mitchell. This exclusive post-game interview is presented by Access Storage. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. Well, Bo Levi Mitchell, congratulations. Great to see you out there back on the football field. But I'll tell you what really impressed me. In your media availabilities this week, you didn't really want to talk too much about you getting back on the field. You were talking about this team playing great football at this time of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you guys are CFL fans, I've lost 2 Grey Cups to 2 99 teams. You know what I mean? Like, the CFL, yes, you want to be the most talented team. And then next, I'd say you want to be the hottest team going into the playoffs. So I know that, we obviously weren't going to have the best record after the first, 6-8 weeks we had. But the most important thing, what O kept preaching to us is just, man, keep believing, buy into what we're doing, and let's just get hot at the right time. And, man, it's been coming together really well. So big shout out to Scott coming in and, changing things on the offense, and then just, Coach Washington, the defense, just continuing to believe and build on their side. Special teams, it's been amazing all year, so it's just a big team thing. And I think the nice thing is what you're seeing a lot of different guys that are making plays every single week. It's not just the same guys, so I think that's a big thing for the playoffs.
Yeah, Bo, congratulations. Certainly a full team victory. And what we saw of you in the first quarter was the rhythm of your throws was more like the Bo Levi we've seen in the past. And I guess my question is, how did you feel out there? Coach O said you can't put too much stock into one win. You got to enjoy it, but it is just 2 points, and you got to move on and get ready for next week. How did you feel today, and what can we expect from you against BC?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a credit to O and Scott and these guys and their plan. I mean, the plan was to go out and play a quarter, and that's what we did. And, I think they wanted me to come out and build confidence in the team, in me, and myself, to get back out there, preparing the starter and being ready to go. Felt great, man. Obviously, would have loved to keep playing, but it was pretty nice watching number 18 cook out there. Matt, we all know the guy can throw the ball. We all know he can run a little bit. But when he ran 42 over, that whole sideline, felt a little bit different. So, man, I think the nice thing is we all believe in each other and we all love each other. And it's just it's fun to watch anybody in the team make a play, and a lot of people do.
Bo, you've been around for a lot of seasons. You mentioned the 2 Grey Cups that did not go your way. And as you know, as Andy and I know, we all can sense every team is different. Every year is different. Well, this year you guys had tons of adversity early on, especially for yourself with injuries, Matt Schultz, games lost that were close. And now you are getting hot at the right time. So how did this year's Hamilton Tiger Cats kind of figure out how to turn into a winning team at this point in the season?
Man, just keep getting there and listening to what O is briefing to us. He kept showing us the evidence of the good plays we were making and why we could be a winning team, and then showed us the bad plays that we were constantly making kind of in the beginning of the year, and a lot of them were more bad decisions, So I think a lot of us, as we get up there and learn and, take the pride out of the door. Don't worry about that. Come in ready to learn, critique yourself, and when O puts that out there in front of everybody, we hold everybody in the team accountable. So I think once we've learned those things, we've gotten better from there. Every mistake we've made, we're just going to continue to get better.
Hey, Bo, it's RJ. You've had 4 starts now, none at Tim Hortons Field. Are you looking forward to Friday?
I am, man. I pushed as hard as I could to come back for that game so that I could play at Tim Hortons Field as the first game back. But obviously this was a smart decision by the training team and O and everything. So I am very excited to get out there in front of the fans, get the showcase in front of them, and just honestly get to play at home with teammates.
Bo, one of the things that I think you always love to see the guys on the sideline there and the union that you guys have together. I know during your injury there, especially the longer one with the leg, you had some separation from the team. It's got to feel good to be back with the guys.
Yeah, it does, man. I think, anytime you get surgery, you always question whether or not you're going to kind of be able to finish the year. So, when the doctors gave me the good news that I'd be able to, be back in 8 weeks and possibly push it to 6, definitely a lift to the spirits. And then I just kept my head down, kept working. But, man, the biggest thing is getting to be on the sideline, be on the headset, listen to Scott talk, and kind of the way he was teaching Taylor Powell and watching his growth throughout that 6 to 8 game start that he had. And it kind of reinvigorates you and gets you to understand and see the game in a different way. And I think it was a special process. And now when you look at us, if you're looking at the quarterback room, we're confident about it no matter who's stepping there. So I think that's a big thing for everybody in our defense, especially in offense, to understand that, if something happens to me, something happens to Matt, something happens to Taylor, we got guys that are ready to go.
Well, it's been fun to say Bo's back, and it's good to see you get that victory. And on to the next one as you get a little bit closer to the playoffs. Enjoy the victory, enjoy the time with the guys, and safe flight back.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.
Bo Levi Mitchell, a happy man, and I've long said this. I've said it not on radio so much, but I do believe that if this team are going to go the distance, number 19's got to be the guy.
Well, you can't beat that return. That one drive where they started from their own 12 and 2 passes later, one to Tim White, one to Omar Bayless, and they've got a touchdown. That was fantastic. Matt Schultz has come in. He's looked really good, too. These 2 quarterbacks missed a lot of time, and they've both been really good. I think Friday will be a big game for Bo. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the fans, getting to finally see him. There was so much hype when he signed. It's crazy that he hasn't had a home start in the regular season, so I think Friday will be really exciting.
Well, it's interesting that we're going to be cheering for the Red Blacks tomorrow, because if they win that game, then that Hamilton can win out and get that home playoff game. So it's
hey, they were cheering for the Tiger Cats tonight, so Tiger Cats can cheer for the Red Blacks on Monday.
But even if Montreal wins tomorrow, it's still good that Hamilton plays first next week, so that we're going to be playing for that home playoff game before we know if we need, before we know what Montreal happens next week. But either way, just Ticats got to just keep improving, and what a showing tonight. Perfect timing for it. Lots of optimism moving forward.
Absolutely. I was just so encouraged by a season that has been so plagued with quarterback issues, and just, it took till the halfway point in the season until we had anything sort of encouraging at quarterback play, and that was Taylor Powell starting to come around and look really good. And now you've got all 3 guys. Bo Levi Mitchell in his interview just mentioned that. I mean, now it's a room where you kind of could count on any 3 of them, and you have all those options in front of you. So, Yeah, just in every category, they really are kind of peaking right here with two games left in the regular season.
You know what I thought was really cool, too, is that normally, and you guys know about this, when you go on the road, you generally just carry the 2 or 3 quarterbacks. They brought Taylor Powell with them. He was in street clothes, and he was there with the team enjoying this.
Yeah, well, he's part of this team. He's part of this adventure this year, and not just part of it, but part of the leadership of the team. And so he had the headset on, kind of the opposite of how Bo Levi was saying. He had the headset on, listening to the discussions between the coaches and the quarterbacks. So I think it was appropriate to bring him, and now they come home, and we'll look forward to how that all shakes down next week.
Well, the team that's coming here, the BC Lions, are going to be a pretty angry football team. So we're looking forward to seeing Vernon Adams and his crew as they check in too. The Tim Hortons field as well too. 38-13, your Hamilton Tiger Cats saving their best to last. What an outstanding effort as they get back to 8-8 and are primed for the playoffs. Still a couple left to go. Folks, thank you so much for listening to the many hands that put together this broadcast on and off the radio. Andy Fantuz, RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker, myself. We'll be back Friday night for Tiger Cats pregame presented by Greenworks as those Ticats, your hometown Tiger Cats, host the BC Lions. Our broadcast starts at 6 p.m. We're streaming live at listen.ca or .com and across the Ticats audio network. Have yourself a lovely Thanksgiving with your family, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Good evening.